Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're getting into a really relevant topic,
Hmm.
especially if you're driving an EV around the San Francisco Bay Area or, maybe thinking about it. We're talking mobile EV charging, specifically looking ahead to 2025.
Exactly. Yeah. If you're navigating those Bay Area roads,
Yeah.
dealing with that traffic, or even just curious about how EV support is shaping up, this is for you. We want to give you the key info quickly and clearly.
And we're basing this on some great insights provided directly by BeeCharged EV. They're actually a mobile EV charging service operating right there in the Bay Area.
That's right. They've shared details about how they work and, importantly, the unique challenges, the hurdles of keeping EVs charged in that specific region. It's quite demanding.
So our mission today, it's pretty straightforward. We want to pull out the most important stuff about what makes a mobile EV charging service good, maybe even the best, in the Bay Area context for 2025.
Yeah, helping you understand what to look for and why these factors really matter there, more so than maybe in other places.
Okay, let's unpack that. When you think about the Bay Area, it's intense, right? So what makes a mobile charging service stand out? What are we looking for in the best?
Well, based on the info from BeeCharged EV, a few things really jump out. First off, response times. In a place that moves as fast as the Bay Area, if your battery's dead, you need help fast.
Can't be waiting hours.
No way. And then reliability.
Yeah.
You absolutely have to trust that they'll show up and the service will work. That's non-negotiable.
Makes sense.
And coverage.
Yeah.
It needs to be broad. Think San Francisco, the peninsula, down to the South Bay, over to the East Bay, the whole core area.
Well, you don't want to be stranded just like a mile outside their zone.
Exactly. And when they get there,
No.
they need to actually charge effectively. We're talking level 2, ideally, or maybe even faster. Something significantly better than just plugging into a standard outlet.
Yeah, level 1 is just too slow in an emergency.
Right. You need a meaningful boost to get going again quickly. Then there's pricing needs to be transparent, fair, no hidden surprises.
Definitely. Stressful enough already. And the process itself should be easy, like having a simple phone number to call. BeeCharged EV mentions 888-675-9555 makes a huge difference.
Okay.
And finally, especially relevant for the Bay Area with all its tech companies, robust support for EV fleets. That's a big one.
So those are the key ingredients, but you mentioned the Bay Area has unique challenges. Why are these things so critical there?
This is where it gets really specific to the region. The Bay Area throws some curveballs at EV drivers. First, the geography.
The hills.
Exactly. Those steep San Francisco hills, I mean, they can just chew through your battery range way faster than you expect.
Oh, yeah, I think everyone who's driven an EV there knows that feeling.
For sure. Then you've got this mix of, like, super dense city centers, but also real urban sprawl. Getting around efficiently needs local know-how.
Right.
And the distances can add up, especially crossing between, say, the peninsula and the East Bay. You need the range.
And the traffic. We have to talk about the traffic. The 101, 880, 80, 280,
Yeah.
sitting in gridlock, especially on those bridges. Oh, absolutely. That just drains the battery while you're going nowhere. It's a real factor.
Yeah.
Plus, while there are a lot of public chargers, they're not always reliable. Finding one that's open, working, without a queue, it can be hit or miss.
That's a common frustration I hear.
It is. And add to that the sheer number of businesses, particularly tech firms, running EV fleets. They need dependable charging solutions, period.
Okay.
And even the microclimates. You know, how the weather can change from one part of the bay to another. That can actually affect battery performance, too. Subtly.
Wow. Okay, so putting it all together, it really sounds like mobile charging isn't just a convenience there. It could be pretty essential sometimes.
That's exactly the angle.
Mm-hmm.
And BeeCharged EV positions itself as being designed precisely to tackle these Bay Area-specific issues, looking at 2025.
Right, tailored for the local problems.
Yeah, they talk about their commitment to efficient, professional power delivery, right where and when it's needed, across the region. It's about understanding those local hurdles and investing not just in the tech, the charging vans, but also in technicians who really know the area, the roads, the traffic patterns. That local knowledge is key.
Okay, so drill down a bit. What specific features does BeeCharged AV say make them different in this, challenging market?
They highlight several things. One is what they call Bay Area Optimized Dispatch.
Okay, what does that mean?
It means their system isn't just generic. It's specifically set up to factor in Bay Area traffic, like real-time conditions and the geography.
So it knows about bridge traffic or specific bottlenecks?
Exactly. To try and calculate the genuinely fastest route for the technician, whether you're in SF, Palo Alto, San Jose, Oakland, wherever.
That sounds crucial when you're waiting. Every minute counts.
Totally. They also point to their modern, reliable fleet. So dependable vans, level 2 charging, or better, meaning you get a decent charge relatively quickly.
Not just a trickle.
Right. And they emphasize that their technicians are trained and background checked. That adds a layer of, safety and professionalism.
Yeah, that's important. Peace of mind.
Definitely. Then there's extensive Bay Area coverage. They aim to cover the main population centers and business areas. So SF, peninsula cities like Palo Alto, Redwood City, South Bay hubs like San Jose, Santa Clara, Mountain View, and East Bay cities like Oakland, Berkeley, Fremont, Hayward.
Pretty comprehensive.
Yeah, and the main freeways 101, 280, 80, 80, even Highway 24 plus areas near the airports, SFO, Oakland, San Jose.
Okay.
But they are upfront that service to some of the more, let's say, remote or outlying parts of the Bay Area might be limited. Best bet is to call them to confirm for those spots.
Good caveat. And that number again is 888-675-9555. Worth noting.
Exactly. Another point is substantial range delivery. Their goal isn't just a tiny top-up.
Right.
They want to give you enough juice to comfortably get to your actual destination, or at least to a proper high-speed charging station.
Yeah, it makes a big difference.
And upfront pricing. They say you get a clear quote over the phone when you call that 888-675-955 number. No games with the cost later.
Transparency, yeah. Always good.
And finally, touching on fleets again, they offer specialized fleet solutions, custom plans for businesses running EVs in the Bay Area.
It really sounds like they've tried to think through the specifics of that region. So how does this kind of dedicated service van model stack up against other options an EV driver might think of?
That's a good question to explore. BeeCharged EV's approach with their own vans and trained staff is quite different from, say, some app-based gig platforms.
Right, like ordering a charge through an app.
Yeah. With those, there can be variability. The response time, the kind of equipment the person has, their level of training. It might not be as consistent.
Bit of a gamble, potentially.
Could be. Then you have the DIY route, buying your own portable power station.
I've seen those. They look expensive.
They can be, yeah. And crucially, most of them offer only level 1 charging, which is really slow. Might give you just a few miles per hour of charging. Not ideal if you're actually stranded.
Hardly a quick fix.
Not really. And then there's traditional roadside assistance like AAA or similar. They might offer mobile charging now, but often.
Towing is still their main thing.
Often, yeah. Towing might be their default, and that can be slow, costly, and maybe not even the best thing for the EV itself sometimes.
Right. You want someone who specifically knows EVs.
Precisely. So BeeCharged EV's argument is basically, we offer a specialized, fast, reliable service delivering a significant charge built for the Bay Area's specific needs.
Okay, got it. So practically speaking, if a listener is in that situation, battery low, stuck somewhere in the Bay Area, what's the process? How do they actually use BeeCharged EV?
It's designed to be straightforward. Step 1, call that number 888-675-9555.
Okay.
Be ready to give them your exact location, street address, cross streets, landmarks, anything to help them pinpoint you.
Yeah.
And tell them your vehicle type, make and model.
Right.
They'll quickly check if you're in their service area, give you that upfront price quote, and an ETA, an estimated arrival time. Then a technician in a marked BeeCharged EV van wearing a uniform will arrive. They'll have the equipment to safely hook up to your EV and give you that substantial charge.
Sounds pretty smooth. Definitely a number to maybe save in your phone if you drive an EV there.
Absolutely. Good idea. Now let's maybe tackle some FAQs, some questions people might have.
Yeah, good idea. Like the big one, response time in heavy traffic. How quick can they really be during rush hour on the 880?
That's fair.
Yeah.
Their answer is, look, times will vary based on conditions. It's unavoidable.
Sure.
But they stress their dispatch system uses that local knowledge and live traffic data to try and find the best route. The most accurate ETA you'll get is by calling them directly when you need help, that same number, 888-675-9555.
Makes sense. Can't promise 15 minutes in gridlock. Okay, another one. Is BeeCharged EV really the most reliable option across the whole Bay Area in 2025?
Well, that's certainly their goal. Their strategy relies on having that professional fleet, consistent equipment, broad coverage in the main areas, and focusing on speed. They believe their dedicated model, just focusing on mobile EV charging, gives them an edge in reliability, especially considering those unique Bay Area challenges we talked about.
And what about those edges of the Bay Area? You mentioned limitations. Which parts might they not serve?
Yeah, they're clear. Their main focus is the core urban and suburban areas. So if you're in a more remote part, maybe parts of the North Bay or far east, Contra Costa County, or down near Gilroy, service might be limited or unavailable.
So definitely call first if you're out there.
Definitely call 888-675-9555 to check for those specific locations.
Okay. Cost comparison. Is this mobile charging way more expensive than just finding a public station?
They frame it in terms of value. Yes, public charging might cost less per kilowatt hour, but you're paying for immediate roadside relief.
Right, avoiding a tow, saving time.
Exactly. Avoiding potentially big towing fees, saving maybe hours of hassle, especially critical for business fleets where downtime costs money. They say their rates are competitive for that kind of on-demand emergency service. Again, call for a specific quote.
It's a different kind of service, really. You're paying for the convenience and speed in a pinch.
Precisely. And one last common question about those fleets. How exactly do they help businesses with lots of EVs? They offer these tailored fleet charging plans. That could mean things like scheduled charging at a company's depot overnight.
Ah, proactive charging.
Yeah, or maybe on-demand top-ups for vehicles out on their routes to make sure they don't run out mid-job. And priority emergency response if a fleet vehicle does get stranded. It's about minimizing disruption for the business.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense for businesses relying on EVs there. So let's try and wrap this up. What's the main takeaway for someone thinking about mobile EV charging in the Bay Area, specifically around 2025?
I think the core message, based on BeeCharged EV's information, is that if you need reliable, efficient mobile charging in that really challenging Bay Area environment, a dedicated service like theirs aims to provide a comprehensive solution tailored for those local issues.
And when you, the listener, are looking at options there, it seems really crucial to weigh those specific factors we discussed, right? Like, how fast can they actually get to you? Are they truly reliable? Do they cover your area? And can they give you a decent charge?
Absolutely. Those are the things that really matter when you're stuck and need help in a place like the Bay Area. They define the quality of the service in that context.
This has been really interesting, digging into such a specific but very relevant need. It really highlights how EV infrastructure isn't one size fits all. It has to adapt to the place.
Definitely.
And, thinking about that, with EV adoption just continuing to climb and these unique regional demands like in the Bay Area, it makes you wonder, how are these mobile charging services going to evolve? How will they integrate even more deeply with the grid and our energy systems in the coming years?
That's a great question. It's definitely a space that's changing fast.
Something to keep an eye on. Thanks for digging into this with us today.